This is What the Floor from TNA Supply Company, Inc., a podcast for the flooring industry. I'm Holiday Van Aram.
And I'm Michael Gurria. We're going to explore the hot topics of the flooring industry with a little humor and a new set of eyes.
Well, Michael, we've got another episode today.
I know, they just keep flying through.
This is number 17.
Nice.
I didn't start the numbers over again. I did add a season at the beginning of the year, so we're on our second season, but I just kept the numbers going.
Yeah, no, it feels good. It certainly feels more natural than it used to. I don't fear coming in. It's just more natural. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I do have show prep in front of me.
Of course.
But I don't feel like I really prepped all that much. But we're talking about stuff today that we've been talking about for quite a while.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, this is stuff we've researched, so much already or been working on as a team. And so I feel like now it's just a fun time to have the conversation for our listeners.
And I feel like we have mentioned the evolution of luxury vinyl numerous times in numerous episodes. It usually tends to come up a lot. Even when we were talking about hardwood, it still came up. And how quickly luxury vinyl products have evolved and changed.
Yeah, and they just continue to. I mean, I'm amazed at the amount of products that are coming to our company, for us to look at that have some sort of new feature, new function, but are still under the LV category.
Yeah, that big umbrella that is everything plastic.
Yeah, It really is, but it's not going away. I mean, we're still seeing massive amounts of it being sold, being spec'd, and our customers are asking for it.
The ever-evolving technology is a sign that it's not going to stop. They're taking all the feedback that they're receiving and the problems that they're having with, the generation 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're trying to figure out at these factories, well, what can we change and do differently to solve that problem?
Right.
And then how can we tweak it a little bit more to solve a different problem? So we've got specifically 3 different types of luxury vinyl cores that we want to discuss today. But it's certainly not all the options that we've seen.
Nope. Yeah, there is so many, and there's a lot we've said no to, these 3 in particular, and we'll have products attached with them that we get to talk to you about, have specific reasons we decided to go with these and that we found, for a lot of reasons, just better than some of the other products we've seen.
Yeah, so I think it's super interesting and fun, and it definitely goes back to what Tony is constantly harping on us on. What is the why behind these products?
Yeah, and they're solution-based. So much of this comes from problems from an earlier iteration or version of LV. And I often relate things to Apple because they do marketing really well. But you think about the new iPhones, from generation to generation, there can be very subtle changes. They've just tweaked the camera. They've tweaked this or that to make it a little bit better. Do you always switch to the new iPhone? No. I think a lot of us have gotten away from always upgrading to the new one, but it's good to know it's there when you need that new function. Yeah,
for sure. And then you've got the competitors coming out with something even a little different.
For sure.
And it makes you kind of wonder, well, maybe I should switch to something different. Maybe go back to the flip phone.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the way I want to go. That seems kind of cool.
Right.
Because it solves a problem.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about 3 specific types of cores, specifically for rigid core. That's really where this evolution seems to be taking and happening the most. Yeah. It's not necessarily on the glue down side, although there are some changes that people are trying to make there too. But when it comes to the formulation and the types of things that we want to solve with SPC products, rigid core products, that's where we're seeing a lot of the innovation.
Yeah. So this first one we'll jump into is what we call ABA construction.
And it's been around for a little while.
Yeah.
We've had a product previously that utilized it, and we definitely didn't market it very well or really understand what it was trying to solve at the time. Yeah, and now we've got some new and better versions of it.
Yeah, it got a little bit of an unfair shake. We launched it during COVID.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That hurt, like everything else, but we still saw so much value in what it was. So what's the big question? What is ABA construction?
Yeah, it sounds like it should stand for something very technical.
Yeah, I can't come up with an acronym right off the top.
No, because it doesn't.
Right.
It really doesn't stand for anything.
It doesn't.
What you need to think about with some of these constructions is when we're describing them and we name them, it's kind of about how the product actually looks. If you cut it, down the side and you look at how the layers are built, that's what we're describing, is how the layers are laid out and what they're made of. I go back to like plywood construction, like it's the layers and how they're turned and different formulations that are put in there that try to solve different problems.
Yeah. So the easy way I try to explain this is if you think of kind of your standard SPC, we call that single extrusion, which I would compare that to solid hardwood.
Yeah.
It's one single layer of SPC that's pushed out of the
extruder.
Thank you. Whereas ABA construction, which again, it's not an acronym, there's an A layer, a B layer, and then another A layer.
And the two A layers are the same exact formulation, and the
Correct.
B layer is a different formulation.
Right. And so you have now an more engineered wood version of an SPC. So there's no wood in it. Don't hear me wrong.
Yeah, but that's just the analogy.
Solid versus engineered. Yep. Versus single extrusion versus multi-layer extrusion.
What do you think are the main benefits then? Why do we care that it's ABA? What makes it better than other single extrusion?
Yeah. So one of the big problems that we get feedback on from single extrusion is heat in front of sliding glass doors and south-facing windows.
And you'd think this is Washington. We don't have a lot of heat.
Right.
Don't care.
However, when we do, and that heat comes through a window or a door, that acts like a magnifying glass.
When you live on the lake and you've got your big, huge windows of gray sunlight coming in.
Floor to ceiling windows, and it's just heating that floor. And what happens is, let's say the sun comes in 4 feet and it's on that floor, and then from 4 feet on, it's in the shadows. Well, that first 4 feet is getting the sunshine. It can go up to 140, 150 degrees coming through that magnifying glass. And then you've got the next however many feet that's still in the cold.
Yeah.
And so it's not moving. And so we typically see problems with expansion or buckling because of that heat transfer coming through. The other's more stable or cold, and it's then buckling and having issues. So ABA construction has got more dimensional stability with the heat, both heat and cold, actually.
Yeah. So why temperature changes. And I know we like to call it the dome effect with the heat. And then kind of the opposite with the cold. For either big temperature swing, ABA construction is going to help keep it more stable.
Yeah. And actually it makes the core stronger. That's the other thing ABA construction does. Again, you're adding multiple layers, and those layers are stronger. So we actually have videos of testing done with the caster chair test showing revolutions on that locking mechanism, and it actually outperforms single extrusion by quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. No, it certainly does. So there's a lot to be said for building a sandwich that is numerous layers of different things. It's a lot heftier, and it doesn't fall apart as much when you're holding it if it's got numerous layers built of different constructions.
Yeah, exactly. So we've had this, like Holiday said, I mean, we had a product that was performed very well for us. And as pricing changed due to all the economic struggles of the last couple of years, we decided to bring in 2 new products that did have ABA construction.
Yeah. Very exciting. And for the most part, I'd say that they're launched and out in the field. I don't know that all customers have everything that they need yet, but for the most part, we've got samples, and our sales reps should be out showing them.
Absolutely. I mean, if you hear this and you're interested, we've got Acclaim, and we'll go over that. And then we've got Magnitude. And so these are the 2 products. They're ready to go. All of the material is in the barn, and we would love to get you samples as quickly as we can.
So same construction for both products, but we've got 2 of them. So basically they've got a little different specification. One is kind of a lower end and one's a higher end.
Yeah. So Acclaim is a 4.5 overall thickness. So it's a 3.5 product with a 1 millimeter attached pad, and it has a 12 mil wear layer. A couple other kind of key attributes of it. It's got a painted bevel edge. Some customers love painted bevel edges. Some don't. It's really a preference of the customer. So, and that product is a 7-inch by 48-inch.
And it's kind of nice to have the painted bevel on kind of the lower end product, because you get a little extra something special with it, even though you're not originally paying as much as the next up.
Yeah. There's a couple colors in there I'd love to point out. The acacia is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why, but acacia sells so well here across our entire territory. It always has. And when we have collections that don't have an acacia, we always end up bringing one in eventually because it's just a fantastic visual, and people just always tell tend to gravitate towards it.
Yeah, this has a really rich brown. It's got really good color variation, but not too much. So the film is just fantastic on this product. So if you're interested in an acacia or would love an acacia and SPC, this is the product for you, no doubt.
And I really also like the Porter Hickory, which is kind of similar to the acacia. It's got a lot of color movement in it, but it's just a beautiful color.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially, it's got hickory in the word. So it's got that calico look, but there's a stain on it. So it's not quite a natural hickory. We've put a really nice kind of beigey stain on there. So you still get a lot of movement and color variation, but with that stain over the top that just gives it a really nice color, goes with a lot of different color cabinets. I think it's going to be accepted by a lot of folks. Yeah,
and another thing that we did is, while we're at it, we might as well add an extra anti-scratch coating and an antimicrobial coating.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, it is a 12 mil wear layer, so residentially, it's a great product.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're great. Don't let people fool you that you have to have a 20 mil. And we really believe in our, the anti-scratch and antimicrobial addition to this, and that's in the top coating.
Yep. So that's Acclaim. It's ready to go.
Yep.
Get it now. If you haven't seen it, it's on our website. You can get samples from our sales reps, have them come in and show you the product and do a PK, and it's under our TAS flooring brand.
Yeah. So the second product we've got with the ABA construction is called Magnitude. Magnitude is a 5 mil overall thickness, so a 4+1, and it has a 20 mil wear layer.
Everything else in addition to that is pretty much the same. It's got the same antimicrobial, anti-scratch coatings, same ABA core construction.
Yep. The two differences are it's got a micro bevel edge and it has 60-inch lengths. Yep. So a little longer, and it has just a standard kind of bevel instead of the painted bevel.
Yeah. So if you've got customers that don't like painted bevel, you can steer them towards Magnitude. If you like that look, they can go towards Acclaim. Either one of them. They're really good complementary products.
They are. And for those, customers out there that are worried about selling products under 5 millimeter, because we do have some that say, hey, I'd rather go with a 5 millimeter or thicker product. Because of the construction, because of that ABA construction, we're really confident in the performance of this product. So you really do. You kind of have a big brother, little brother scenario here where it gives you multiple SKUs to choose from. I think there's 12 overall. Is that correct? 6 and 6. So you've got a lot of color variations to choose from, and you've got a beefier, overall thickness, and then you've got the lesser with a painted bevel.
We had some customer meetings here over at this building that we're in quite a while ago, and one of the questions that came up was, why do you even have something under 5? We don't want that. We don't, we're not willing to sell products that are under 5 anymore. We have too many problems. But at the same time, they still have customers coming in asking for products in that price point. So it's nice to have something, even if you don't always want that to be your go-to, when you do have somebody coming in with something from a big box store, they've got it, samples from Home Depot or Lowe's, and it's something a little cheaper. It'd be nice to have something that's comparable that you could offer them, and then try to upsell them into Magnitude instead.
Absolutely. And then this is really where, with so many of these SPC products being the same, there are a lot of them are from the same factories. They have similar looks. My hope is this ABA construction will give you a little bit of a differentiator versus maybe your competitor, that you can really speak to the story of a better overall construction and less movement with the ABA than a standard core product. So those are our 2 ABA core construction products. We're really excited about the category. So we do have some marketing pieces that explain ABA core, and they aren't necessarily specific to a certain product. So we had a call yesterday with our sales team, and they were talking, some of them brought up that they had laminated some of those sheets and put them at the displays. So we've got some additional materials if you're not confident in explaining that for a while, or you want a visual of kind of what happens in different temperatures to the product versus one versus the other. So we have those materials if they're needed. And, I'm really excited about these products. I think the colors are fantastic. They're really the right color tones for today's market and what people are looking for, and what's going with the color tones that people are picking from. So they should be home runs. And they're very aggressively priced. That they hit a price point that will meet your needs. So let's talk about another type of product that it sounds similar, but
it's got a kind of a different approach to an ABA core construction. So this is something that we're calling an LSPC. So it's similar to an ABA construction, so don't get confused by that when we explain how it's built, but we're going with LSPC because of the attributes that it's trying to provide.
Yeah. So Holiday, what does that L stand for?
As far as I know, it stands for light.
Right.
But there's a lot of different reasons behind that. So the explanation with this core is that there are still 3 main ABA type layers in the middle of this product. The top layer is an SPC and the bottom layer of that is an SPC, but the middle layer is a foam core like a WPC.
Yeah.
So it's light because it has that blown foam core in the middle, which makes the whole product overall lighter than normal rigid core SPC. And that's really kind of what makes it different.
Yeah. We've seen these products in the market as well. Really in the last year or so, we've seen more of them entering the market. They just seem to be out there more. One of the things that's nice about them is they are traditionally thicker.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you say that it's got a WPC blown core in the middle, that means the product that we're coming out with is 8 millimeter thick.
Yeah. It's a game changer in that sense because a lot of the issues we have in the market are in new construction, a lot of the builders are going wider and wider with their joists.
Yeah.
We're hearing all the way up to 24 inches. The standard used to be 16 inches. So if you think if joists, they're running down and then you put a thin layer of plywood over it, typically, when they go that wide, it causes a trampoline effect. That subfloor is just very bouncy. And when you put a thin product over that, you can get breakage of the joints because of the bounce in the subfloor.
Yeah.
So a thicker product corrects that.
We've always been successful with WPCs. People appreciate and just kind of gravitate towards a thicker product. For whatever reason. It's just an imaginary implied that it's better because it's thicker. But it's the same with hardwood. People think that thicker is better, and it does have some reasons why it is better.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think there is times where bigger is better. A bowl of ice cream would be one of them. So, but in this product, thicker does help with some of the issues in the market that we're seeing. A lot of companies don't want to spend money on floor prep, on subfloor prep. And so thicker products do alleviate, not all, please hear me, not all, but some of those floor prep things that should be done that aren't always done. Yeah.
Well, and there's another thought process behind this too, is that the product isn't as heavy.
Right.
For installers, lifting, moving, for warehousing, shipping, the boxes just aren't as heavy as SPC is just a heavy product.
It's dense. Yeah.
Yeah, it just is. So you just can't get away from that. Those are much heavier boxes. We're already having a problem with installers, finding them, them having the time to do your jobs. So, providing them products that aren't as heavy and easier to maneuver and carry. And then just the shipping and freight costs too.
Yeah.
You've got stuff that isn't as heavy. It saves money in a lot of different places.
It does. And then the other thing is WPC typically is a little warmer underfoot. It gives you a better feel. SPC, obviously we sell a ton of it. It can stay cold for a long, long time. It kind of retains cold, whereas WPC warms up a little bit quicker and just has a different feel underfoot than SPC. So even though this has layers, this does have a little warmer feel overall.
So we will have, and Tony, if you recall off the top of your head, if you don't, that's fine, when our new product called Ambiance will be available. We do have a new product with this construction coming out that's getting close to being launched. She's looking. She's looking it up right now.
At the tippy tip of my finger.
While she's doing that, we can introduce it. It is an 8 millimeter product. It's a 7 inch, a little over 7 inch by 60 by 60 inch length. So you've got that kind of nice wide, a little bit longer visual.
8 millimeter thick with a 2 millimeter pad. So you've got a good beefy product.
So that's we call those 10 millimeter overall, which is great. It does have a 20 mil wear layer. So it's got that commercial grade wear layer that a lot of people like.
And it's got the same anti-scratch, antimicrobial. So a lot of our new products have that coating on them now. It's just kind of coming standard with most products.
It also has a painted bevel edge. So for those of you who like that painted bevel, this product will have that also.
At this moment in time, it looks like we're going to be able to launch it early September.
Ooh,
Right.
that's getting close.
Yeah, it is. So
By the time this podcast comes out, it might already be out.
We'll be launching.
Give or take a few days or
Weeks.
week.
Yeah. So for those of you who like thicker products, who are interested, this product is aggressively priced. It has some really great attributes. It is Green Guard Gold certified. So if you have people that are looking for products with that certification, this product comes with that.
Yeah, we've got a couple, and it comes up every once in a while that, that they need that for their lead points in their project. They need to have that Green Guard Gold certification. We've got another option for you to have that.
Yep. Yeah, no, Ambiance should be a great product for us. I think it's going to be an absolute home run.
Yeah, it really should be. There's 20 mil, 8 millimeter thick, 2 millimeter pad with the LSPC. There's just so much benefit to it. It really should be a home run.
Yeah.
So we've got one other product that I want to talk about.
Yes.
Specifically, because it's another kind of interesting core. And this one is called rice core.
Yes, I really, this product intrigues the heck out of me. I've been out kind of promoting it and talking about it with customers. I love the creativeness in not only a new core for a product, but a solution problem for the world almost.
I was pretty skeptical at first.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, anything coming out of Asia that is a rice type product, I think people are going to go, what is going on? Like, is that legit? Is that just a joke? What's the deal with that? But having done a lot of research on it and, read all of the very innovative thinking behind why they created this product, I really believe in it. I think it is something that is different and new and does solve some world problems that people, I'll go back to innovation. They've tried to purposely, create something that was going to solve a non-flooring problem with flooring.
Yeah. So to get kind of into the nuts and bolts of it, every grain of rice comes in a husk. It has a husk that has to be obviously removed until you get that rice kernel.
And there is a lot of rice that is grown over in that part of the world.
And consumed all over the world. Yeah. And so they take that rice husk and in the past, and even still to a point, they just have to burn those rice husks. There's really no other way to get rid of that.
It's a byproduct.
Right.
There's not really a lot that could have been done with it.
Right.
And for a lot of farmers, it's not worth trying to figure out how to get rid of it more responsibly.
Yeah.
So burning it.
Yep.
I mean, that's
it's the cheapest and most economical way to really get rid of it.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that sends a whole bunch of nasty gases up into our atmosphere.
Yeah. And so we have a company that we're working with that has come up with the technology to use the rice husks within the core of the product.
Yeah. So they're actually buying that byproduct from the farmers, which gives the farmers some kind of incentive to actually work with the company and doing something with it.
Yeah.
So I was going to look and see they actually won some awards for it. So they were a finalist for the IDEA 2022 award, an IF Design Award, Red Dot winner. So this company purposely tried to find some kind of innovative solution with flooring, and they've actually won awards for it.
Yeah, and I don't want to oversell this. It's about 20% of the core uses the rice husk. So there's other components in it, but still, that's an awful lot of rice husks being used to produce this product.
Yeah, for sure. So it doesn't make the product completely PVC free.
Nope.
There is still some PVC in the product, but it is doing other things to help the environment than just trying to get plastic out of the product.
Yeah. However, there's no PVC in the core of the product. There is in the top layer in the film.
Yeah.
There is some PVC in that, but because we've removed the PVC from the core, it actually makes a more dimensionally stable core than a standard SPC core.
So you've got a really interesting new type of product that was designed to help with some environmental issues, but it also has some other interesting benefits as well. So it's also a lot lighter.
Yeah.
It's not as heavy because it doesn't have as much plastic and other stuff inside of it.
Yeah. And because you've removed so much of that plastic, it actually is more pliable, I'll call it. And so it'll tend to help with we can't really necessarily promote that it's going to solve subfloor issues, but it could help with some slight subfloor irregularities.
Yeah, we're saying it's 2 times stronger than other locking systems, and you're going to have fewer discarded boards because the locking joints aren't as broken.
Right. Yeah.
So it's also 10% lighter than other SPC products, which means the actual plank itself is lighter, the carton is lighter, the pallet is lighter, everything is lighter. So kind of going back to that Ambiance product, the LSPC, it's got those same shipping and freight benefits too.
Yeah. So we've got a product coming out very soon called Organix.
That utilizes the RSPC, the rice SPC core.
Yeah. So Organix is a 5 millimeter overall thick product. So a 4+1 and has a 22 mil wear layer.
Take that, 20 mil.
That's right. Bigger, more is better.
Yes. 2 more mils of wear layer.
That's right. So it is a nice product. It does have a painted bevel edge and it is a 7 1/4 by 48 inch length.
Angle drop and tap.
Yep.
And it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's got some really good colors.
It is really beautiful.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the planks in person. I haven't seen a full installation, but we do a lot of imaging and photo work with the products ahead of time, and they're just beautiful images. If you go to our websites and look at some of our materials, you'll see some beautiful pictures of it in rooms. And all of the colors have rice theme names.
Yes, they do. So be on the lookout for...
When you see it, you'll know it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a really good product. There's just that different story, I think, will give our customers the opportunity to talk to their customers about it and show them, hey, what are the differences, and just give them different options. And I think that's what they're looking for. Again, it's something else rather than just your standard SPC.
For sure. If you get a customer that's been shopping around at all sorts of different places, including box stores and online, have you looked at rice core products before? Have you looked at these ABA core products? Have you looked at this and that? And it gives you all of these other types of products that you can maybe convince them to, go this direction and buy it from us instead, because we have something different that nobody else has.
Yeah, I know for sure. So we've got that coming. I think that'll be September as well.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that is the current ETA date for it. Although we have some other material, but we won't be ready to go completely until definitely by the end of September.
Yeah. Yeah. So look for those launches. If you're listening to this, they should be right around the corner from you. Yeah.
If you're one of our customers, you should be really excited right now because there's a lot of good stuff coming your way.
Yeah, I mean, so we've really, like Holiday just kind of explained, we've given you 3 really good options. There's 4 collections total. You've got Acclaim Magnitude in the ABA, Ambiance in the LSPC, and Organix in the Rice Core RSPC category.
Yeah, lots of new and fun and exciting stuff. Like you mentioned at the very beginning, there's a lot of other products that we've seen too. I've seen coffee core products and all sorts of different, I'm trying to think of some of the other weird ones that...
MGO core.
Yep, that's what I was thinking of. And I love that people are looking at trying different things.
Yeah.
Trying to find a new and better widget.
Yeah.
And making something that we completely take for granted, the floor that we walk on, and trying to do something different with it and solve problems.
Well, even something we talked about very early on in this podcast, which is PVC free. We've got the Sono Eclipse and Elandura.
Yeah.
That there's just another category under the LV kind of title that allows you something else to sell.
Yeah. So many products. If I owned a flooring store, I don't know that I would need anybody else's products where there's just so much from TNA Supply that I just would fill up my entire showroom.
That's right. And all stocked locally.
Exactly. There's so many benefits to it. And you can have Michael come and do all your PKs.
That's right. I will be there.
We would love to hear your feedback. I would love to know what you think. If you are a sales rep of TNA Supply, if you're a customer, if you're a vendor, or somebody who just has heard our podcast or has met us and wants to listen to it, I would love to know your feedback. What do you think of all of these different cores? Is there one that you think is going to be more successful than others? Have you already tried one of them and you really like it and had success? We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, any feedback is helpful, and we're excited. We've vetted these really 4 collections very, very well. We have our own team in China and Southeast Asia that does a lot of the background work for us. We trust these factories. So we think we're bringing you 4 really good products that will be in your stores for a very long time.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think that covers everything. I don't think there's a single other thing that we could toss their way today.
I know. I think we've hit it. Be excited. Please reach out to your reps if these products are of interest to you. We definitely want to get them in as soon as we can.
Yeah, love it. All right. Any final words, Tony?
No, not today.
All right. Well, I think that is a wrap. What the Floor is a TNA Supply Company, Inc. original production. You can find out more about us at tasupply.com or tasflooring.com.
This show is produced by Paul Van Arum with help from Tony Collier, hosted by Holiday Van Arum and Michael Gurria.
Tell us what you think of the show. Let us know what you thought about these new products by emailing us at WTFpodcast@tasupply.com. Or you can always find us on social media, #WhatTheFloorPodcast.